More than a year ago, the TFT community discovered this banger. This trailer was by far the best trailer ever produced for TFT. It currently has 30 million views and is by far the most watched TFT video. Even the videos with set 13 featuring Arcane characters aren't bringing that many views. What created this much hype about this set, and why is it considered by many players as the best set ever produced by Riot? Let's dive into the past and enjoy this set one more time. Just before set 10 we had one of the most successful sets, set 9. If you look at Google Trends, set 9 was more popular than set 3 during COVID. Even better, if you look at the hours watched on Twitch, the second best month for TFT is July 2023, when set 9 started. Set 9 was pretty popular thanks to the theme, Runeterra Reforged, where players will revisit the different regions of Runeterra and play all the champions with their real origins and base skins. In addition, set 9 introduced Legends, a mechanic that would give players the certainty to have specific moments in their game. While the Legends were kinda controversial, especially to hardcore players and professional players, I think we can all agree that this mechanic, the Legends, helped many casual and beginners to approach the complexity of the game and allow them to onboard and have more fun. But unfortunately set 9 didn't finish that well, or rather I should speak about set 9.5. It actually left a bad taste in many players' mouths.
Let me scout the line real quick. TF. 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 Oh, God bless, God bless. TF. TF.
Players started to optimize perfectly every legends, making the meta nearly impossible to balance. Whether the own artifacts were overbroken, the Tomo traits from Earth was easily abusable, and let's not forget also about the Twisted Fate multicasters that was actually quite tough for many players. Players felt that the set 9.5 was sacrificed by Riot, so they could focus more on set 10 and the new set cycle, especially when players already watched this video.
Training up additional developers like crazy to deliver 3 full-size sets every year.
3 full sets a year. That is 50% more TFT each year. It's bonkers to finally see this happen, and since we won't be doing mid-sets, each of the 3 sets is going to have a longer production timeline that will allow for a higher quality release. That's because each set now has its own development pod, and they'll be able to work at the same time. This will become especially visible when our 10th set launches later this year.
As you probably remember, starting from set 10, Riot will release 3 full sets per year without any mid-set. And you know Riot, when they start something, they like to start it with a bang. So to celebrate the 10th set, as well as the first set ever to be fully shipped from the first day and being the first set hosting the biggest TFT LAN ever, they invested a huge amount of money on marketing. They collaborated with Steve Aoki to create the iconic Rumble Remix music, hosted a remix contest open for everyone, promoted TFT during the League of Legends Worlds Finals, and spent millions to organize the biggest LAN tournament ever in Las Vegas. Of course, these are just marketing tactics. It helps to attract players, but if the set is fundamentally badly designed, they will never stay long. That is why they spend a lot of resources creating probably what most players remember, the music.
Hey everyone, I'm Cole Hicks, lead composer of Remix Rumble, and I'm here to talk about the heart of this set, the music. In Remix Rumble, each trait brings new sounds to your board. While you're building your team, you're building your track. Remix Rumble was an all-hands-on-deck moment for our team. Many different composers and collaborators created original music for each origin trait and made it possible for all of it to meld together in any combination based on whichever units you have out on your board. To make genres like metal sound seamless with, say, jazz or pop, we wrote 2 main songs. Through a mix of layers that contain drums, chords, and melodies, your track will be built alongside your team.
To be fair, I wasn't really convinced. They went too much into technicals, too much about how it's crafted, how it's working and stuff like that. I didn't understand anything because I have no knowledge in music. So I didn't really understood what was the music about until I started to play the game.
Let me show you an example of how all of this will look and sound. Starting with our disco band, the Disco Knots. Their trait gives you a placeable disco ball that will heal your allies and grant them attack speed. As you get later into the game, you can add in more disco knots to strengthen the trait. Then you could add in a destructive splash of pentakill for a killer guitar solo, soaring over it all.
The wow effect has such a big impact on the community that some players made tier lists of the best music and shared the best combinations of music. They didn't even care about winning, they just wanted to lose, but with class. But if you thought it was already complex enough to build a system that allows players to enjoy dynamic music based on what is on their board, they doubled the amount of work from one exclusive and the most emblematic unique of the set, Jin. Whenever you play Jin, he would take the current mix of your board and add a violin touch. For instance, this is what would happen if you were playing a pentakill comp with and without Jin. Be honest, how many of you played Jin simply because it would make the fights much more epic? I recently learned that the sense that is more tied to emotions in our brain is actually hearing, and to be honest, I can feel like Riot already knew that, and that's why they doubled down of making the most and banger music, and that's why probably everyone is remembering that. Speaking of meta and comps, it's kinda incredible that we are far in this video and haven't talked about the meta and the traits yet. The traits were overall extremely flexible and fun to play. The Hardstyle trait, which allows you to cash out big rewards based on the losses you got before, was extremely well designed. You could play win streak with them and still get some small advantageous rewards, so it wasn't that frustrating if you got griefed. And the meta was also so good that Mordok took even a bet about it. And turns out he won.
If we have a B patch related to balance in set 10, I will give away $500 during Christmas break.
Honestly, I've never seen a meta at the beginning of the set which was that balanced. Usually at the beginning of the set, it's always a disaster. There's always something that really breaks everything. Remember about Syndra at set 12. I have other like Beach Water at set 9.5. We have a lot of examples. But for the first time in a very, very long time, the first patch of the set was actually really well balanced for a first patch. But also we had a pretty diverse meta with a lot of fast 8 comps like Pentakill, Carthus, Akali, or Twisted Fate, Dazzler, Disco. But we also had our share of rework comps like Misfortune Jazz, Country Samira and Urgot, 10 true damage, for instance. By the way, what were your favorite comp in set 10 if you played this set? To me it was Unique Crowddiver or Z Crowddiver EDM, and I understand if you hate me for that, but I just enjoy this kind of comps. And finally the headliners, the mechanic of the set, increased the flexibility potential of the set. If you didn't play a specific rework comp, you could stabilize your board with a strong full-cost headliner and aim for fast 9. I know there is a part of the community who hated both Chosens and headliners, but I've seen many pro players switch their opinions about it after seeing the improvement they made on the headliners mechanic. The units and the traits were quite flexible, so unless you hard force a specific headliner, you would always find something that will stabilize your board. And honestly, I never really felt like I needed a break from the meta simply because I didn't enjoy the meta or the meta was a little bit too unhealthy. And it's kinda rare. Truth to be told, we did have a long Christmas meta with Ari Vanguard, but that was mostly due to the 4-week patch that made us feel sick about the lack of novelty. And you know, honestly, it was also the very first time that I felt sad about the end of the set. That was the very first time that at the end of the set I was feeling like I wanted to have more time with set 10. Honestly, usually around the end of the set, I'm kinda hyped for the new set and I'm looking forward to the new set. But here, I was actually anxious. I was like, okay, set 10 was a banger. What if set 11 is a disaster? Turns out I really didn't enjoy set 11, but that's also my opinion. And I was kinda sad that all this work about the music, the meta, the flexibility, all of that was just going to disappear just after 4 months. As you probably know, we have now 3 complete sets per year, and when I discussed with Mordog at the Macau Open, he shared with me an important piece of information. Every 3 sets will be a bigger one where they will put more resources into developing it and marketing it. In 2023 it was set 10, last year in 2024 it was set 13, and we can expect set 16 to be a massive set as well for 2025. Maybe I'm biased, but I've never felt since set 10 and even before a set that would hype me that much. Also, as a competitive player, I had a blast at Las Vegas. Even though I didn't manage to perform that well, I just got kicked out at 1-2. But then after my elimination, I managed to cast the tournament for the French broadcast, and that was probably my wildest memory and biggest emotions I ever had in this set and in TFT. But I will also always remember that game where I needed to finish first to qualify for the finals of the biggest French tournament and got a clutch victory against Double 61, who had only radiant items thanks to a huge hostile cash out. I truly hope that we will soon have a set 10 revival. I think I will spam this, maybe because I'm just being too much nostalgic, I don't know, but I really miss it. And I don't know, tell me if you feel the same.